Good day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to the Christians in Ireland and to Christians all over the world. Please remember to like this video and please send us a comment if you wish, and please subscribe and share. And please do this on YouTube. Please remember to like this on YouTube. Here in Jamaica, where the Roman Catholic Church is today less than 2% of the population, the older Catholics who went to Catholic preparatory schools remember when the sisters would give a school holiday on St. Patrick's Day. That was because most of the priests and religious sisters in those days were of Irish descent or of Irish American descent. And the shamrock, which is not a local plant, was used to explain the Holy Trinity. And here in Jamaica, we do have Irish ancestry. Many of the pirates, unfortunately, the bondsmen, they were Irish, some were Welsh, and of course, it is reflected in some of the names. But today I'm not really going to speak about that, but just to wish a happy St. Patrick's Day. What I want to talk about today is a tendency in Jamaica to forget about a problem that can recur. But the moment the problem goes away, it is forgotten until the next time around. All of 53 years ago today, on March 17, 1969, there was a by-election to the House of Representatives. The ruling party of the day, led by then Prime Minister Hugh Shearer, felt that they had a good chance of winning the by-election because their candidate was the son of the resigning MP who was of the other party and was very popular. There was an impending local government election, and the by-election was announced for the day before the local government election, making the gamble a victory one day that they hoped would cause a victory the following day. But because that was happening in Jamaica, that created a problem, because in the Jamaican voting system, voters' ink is used, where each voter after voting dips the forefinger into indelible ink, which stains the finger sometimes for up to 7 days. So how could voters vote one day and be expected to show up at the polling stations with clean fingers the next day, which would indicate that they had not already voted? How could they do that with clean fingers? The ruling party got around it by withdrawing their candidates for the local government election, giving the other party 6 local government seats unopposed. But what would have happened had there been other candidates, such as independents or other party candidates in the local government election, who might have refused to withdraw from the contest, is anyone's guess. It was a neat political trick, and it is the sort of things that politicians do no matter what party they belong to. On this occasion, the trick did not work because the candidate for the ruling party did not win at all, as the other candidate on a personal level was far more popular within the constituency. The winner was a commissioned land surveyor, but a popular piano player that played at every wedding and funeral within the constituency. And this is how the late Mr. Seymour Mullins was catapulted to Parliament when he won that by-election in South East St. Ann exactly 53 years ago today, March 17. My concern, which I have raised several times when I was a newspaper columnist and a radio commentator, is that up to this day, there is no law to prevent the recurrence of day-apart elections. Apparently, it has to happen again for there to be a discussion again, and then it will be forgotten. It is what will be called a 9-day wonder. Indeed, there will be many viewers who will ask why I brought it up, since it has not recurred after 53 years. But what has occurred is a water problem. This time not due to drought, but due to a shortage of oil for the electricity to pump the water, and this is caused because of the impending war between Russia and Ukraine. How many times have we spoken about solar energy, which is in Jamaica, but only the wealthy can afford due to excise duties? How many times have we spoken about alternate forms of energy from the early days of the international oil crisis that started in December 1973? How many times have we spoken about using gravity-fed water, making use of the fact that the height of the Blue Mountains is 7,200 feet, and if all the rivers in Jamaica from east to west are combined into pipes around the country, with a little of the water dropping so many feet or kilometers from the rivers in the Blue Mountains to push the rest of the water, then our water needs will be met. How many times have we spoken about this? I call this method the Van Hitchner method because I first heard it from him in a discussion we had in 1987. Mr. Van Hitchner, a former principal of St. George's College, is reputedly one of the best physics teachers in Jamaica, but I believe that he might have finally retired, having spent his last days teaching at Arden High School. And actually the Yellowstone pipeline was all gravity fed to build pressure to move uphill, and it worked for years until the water levels in the aquifer dropped due to the cutting down of trees and the scorching of the earth, ostensibly the method taught by foreign experts to improve our coffee output. It was only then that pumps came into use. And there are so many other instances that we can speak about. Every time there is a drought, we speak about why did we preserve water. And every time there's a flood, we speak about why didn't we clean the gullies. But we don't do anything in between one and the other. It is a national problem. Are we going to make a final effort to change and do these things like making sure water can run right through the country, gravity fed, or even use solar pumps? But if we get some available cheap oil tomorrow morning and say the crisis is finished, do we simply drop our hands? This is a problem that we really need to address as a nation. Have a good day.